computer. Welcome to The Neighborhood, a show where a mother and her daughter talk about business, community, and everything in between. Now hop aboard the trolley and let's go.
Hey, neighbors.
Hey.
Hey, neighbors.
Just doing a quick tech support.
Yeah, silencing a phone. It's on mute. It's still ringing. Telemarketers, they can break through even a mute button. Dang it. Okay, we're coming to you early in the week.
Yeah.
Because we have a busy
out of
week.
necessity.
It's necessity.
Yeah.
Last week of school.
Yeah.
For most people, their kids. And Ophelia's last day is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then you leave her.
And then I say, arrivederci, little one, and I'm going to Iceland.
What language do they speak in Iceland?
Icelandic.
And have you learned how to say anything?
It's tough enough for me to pronounce Reykjavik, so I don't even think I'm doing that right because I'm rolling my R's. The Spanish in me is coming out, but
the Spanish in you,
Spanish in me.
She's
not genetically,
Spanish.
but I'd say my brain is made up of at least 40% Spanish.
I'm excited because now when people say something, my brain, it's not like I'm thinking in Spanish, but my brain is wanting to respond in Spanish.
Okay, look at you.
29 days of Duolingo. I'm now challenging everyone I meet to a Duolingo streak.
Yeah, okay.
And it's helping me because, the
competitive nature.
That is all it takes.
Yeah.
I must beat Andrea is my goal right now. She is kicking all our butts.
Yeah, well,
I'm
kicking hers.
Yeah,
so.
well, no, because you're not on Duolingo. So you don't have
that's true. So you're just saying, you're not talking in terms of just speaking Spanish.
No, you are a role model. And Andrea mentions it quite often. Her and I both say, Taylor learned to be completely fluent in a year working with Maria.
Because you guys had the opportunity. You had the opportunity. Every day, Maria was here working with us, like closely, especially at the beginning. We had to really solidify routines and the way processes and nail all this stuff down. She spoke very little English, like maybe 5%.
Yeah.
And I'd say I was operating at like a 20% Spanish level.
Because I
had it.
Previous knowledge.
But she
forced you.
And I said, I don't want to speak English with you. And she's like, great, I hate English. And so we would just speak Spanish every day.
She has lived here for 30 years and still refuses to speak.
She started taking English classes when we first met her. And she was like, I lasted 3 weeks. I hate English.
Well, her and I both say we're both a similar age. She's younger than me, but we're similar age. And we both go, we're refusing to learn a new language. And
that's
finally,
a good mindset. We love that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's our topic today is when to stop learning and being curious.
When to stop learning and say, I'm done. I'm done. No, I'm now embracing it. Good. I mean, I have tried.
You have tried
many times to learn Spanish.
And I will say, it is really hard to learn a language if you can't immerse yourself.
Yes. So here, every day we have the opportunity. And now we have identified about 5 people here at the village that we're all trying to learn Spanish together. Mm-hmm. So now when we see each other,
only Spanish.
We try to speak Spanish only. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have Nancy, we have Maria, we have Francisco. So we have people here who speak Spanish. So we're like, nope, only speak Spanish.
Yeah.
So
Solo español.
Solo español.
Solo español con esta persona. ¿Sí?
Todo día.
Todos días.
See, there's where I still speak like a Spanish caveman.
That's okay.
I'm a Mexican cave girl because I just say todo día.
Es solo para ahora.
Sí.
Luego es mejor, ¿sí?
Sí. I don't know what she really said, but sí.
You know what I said.
And you just say sí whenever you don't understand.
Put your Google glasses on.
You know what? And I have tried that too. But then I feel like I'm not learning. I'm just relying on it to translate for me. Mm-hmm. So here we are.
I don't know how we got there.
I don't even know how we got on that.
Except for the
fact that I asked you if you're speaking Icelandic.
Yes. Okay.
There we go.
And no, it's honestly, it's a hard language for me to read even. Yeah, like reading the names of the cities I'm going to, I'm like, I couldn't tell you.
So you are, kind of diving into, it's not our topic, but diving into.
But you know what? First, let me preface with something, okay?
Yes.
Today's going to be day 1, okay? This is the beginning.
Day 1
it's
of
the dawn.
Duolingo.
It's day 1 of Duolingo. This is the dawn of a new era for us, okay?
Order.
Because I left for 5 months and I came back to complete chaos on the podcast. I'm gone for 1 second. And I come back and there's just absolutely no order. However,
no structure.
The 3 of us last week.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
We just can't do that.
And if you guys felt like that was overwhelming, don't ever come to a family gathering because it's 10 times worse.
A sliver of what our family dinners are like. We are
constantly talking over each other. So whoever's louder, I mean, it is just. Yeah. But so I left and I rewatched it and I said, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. However,
we do need order.
However, we need some order. So this podcast, we love our segments. It keeps us in check, but I'm flipping it on its head. Okay. Yes. Because I'm not going to pretend you're not watching for the meat. Okay. It's like offering you a sandwich and then giving you like one chip.
Well, it's like going to a Mexican restaurant. Let's just stay in the Mexican thing. And you're giving you 5 baskets of chips first.
And you're like, but I'm kind of here for the meal. I appreciate the chips.
Yeah.
But I'm here for the meal. And so we kind of just tease you. We tease you. We were like, hey, how about we do 45 minutes of chips? And then we'll give you your meal. And you're like, well, by that time, I'm actually kind of full and I'm ready for the check.
Yeah.
Like, so this is a fantastic metaphor.
Yeah, it is.
So we're giving you the meal today.
Esta es.
See, we gave you a few chips. Esta es.
See?
Yeah. It's beautiful. So we're giving you a few chips right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to flip it. So we're giving you the meal first. Okay. And then if you're still hungry, you stay and you eat some chips. And you will still be hungry because there's always room for dessert.
Which when Dad and I went to that new restaurant in Castle Rock called Bien y Tú.
See?
Oh, so good. They forgot that's one that they don't bring out chips and salsa automatically.
Unless you ask.
You have to order it. Yeah.
Okay.
And they charge you for it. But I'm okay with that because you know what? We ordered it and it didn't come out until after, or it came out like right with our dinner, which we both said, wow, that's the first time we ate all our dinner and then had a few chips. And they had a flight of salsas.
Oh,
which
yeah. I like
did
that.
learn the word salsa is just sauce. So Americans, we think salsa is just chopped up tomatoes or some sort of dipping.
Americans misunderstanding a cultural reference?
I know.
That's insane.
It is insane. And salsa could be spaghetti salsa, French dip salsa, like anything you're dipping into sauce.
Well, it's like salsa de
even your salad. Your salad salsa is the dressing on
salsa de ensalada.
Just thought I'd help educate all of you out there.
Yeah. For when you're in Cabo on your resort next and they're like, good morning, ma'am. What sauce do you want? And you're like, do you mean salsa?
Yeah.
They're like, no.
Sí, bueno.
Okay, so we're going to start with,
our top.
No. Remember? No, how quickly she forgets. I ran her through this right before. I said, so we're going to do just a little baby. I mean, this kind of counted as an icebreaker, but we always do our favorite things and it stresses me out because I don't have new favorite things all the time. Like you're constantly like engaging in different things that you're like, but I'm like, hey, I've got my settled routine and I like it.
How did you survive in the house?
No,
I just want to know growing up.
I think I survived and was overwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to do something different.
Routine.
Yeah. I need a routine. No, yeah, we had no bedtime.
No
routine, no structure.
Well, if you're tired, you go to sleep. Wherever you are, we'll pick you up on our way up to bed.
And I think I grew up thinking, wow, that was fun, but a little out of control and I don't know if it's sustainable. Yeah. And so I think now as an adult, I love a good routine.
And you know what? She was thriving.
I was thriving.
Yeah.
I was thriving.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a child.
And now as an adult.
I couldn't have sustained it. So now what we're saying is I have new favorite things all the time, but they're pretty analog and I don't know if it fits the mold. So
instead we're just
saying, what are you excited about?
Yeah, what are you excited about? Which should be Bailey's favorite thing.
Yes, because she always used to say,
ask, are you excited?
Are you excited?
Are you excited? Anything that's happening, are you excited? And until you say yes, she's not satisfied.
Yeah.
She must know that you're excited.
So I have a trip coming up and she's like, are you excited? And I'm like,
yeah.
She's like, no, like,
are you really excited?
She really wants to dig in.
She wants you
to
be
what
excited.
Are you excited about?
I'm excited about new things, trying new things, which again goes back to lots of things. But Dad, he is an Instagram scroller. And he is on Instagram more than anyone in our family. He
is so active on there.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's insane.
But he has no profile picture. He has no connections.
No.
He doesn't do anything except just watch.
And I think it's funny to see what content is served to him based on what he
his
follows.
Algorithm is so off-brand for his outside persona.
It is miniature dachshunds and chihuahuas, MMA fighting,
exotic vacations,
and every Denver event that's going on.
Wow. Besides the last one, I had a fantastic image of combining all of those.
Well, and funny because he showed me a video last night of 2 baby chihuahuas fighting and chickens
in a tropical destination.
Probably in a tropical destination with chickens that were surrounding the 2 chihuahuas fighting. And the caption was, "Chickens arrange dog fight for their entertainment," or something.
This is what my father.
Yes. And as I'm trying to get work done, as I'm prepping like marketing stuff, or whatever, he's like, "Wait, I have to show you one more video."
That is the hard. You cannot work around him at night
because
when he's off the clock. He has just one more thing.
One more. Wait, look at this funny one. Look at this one. I'm like,
it's the same thing.
They're funny. It was funny.
So you've been trying. He does buy in the last few years. He started to just buy tickets to every event he sees.
Meow Wolf came. He bought the tickets to Meow Wolf when they open. If there's a concert we went to a couple years ago, concert that was a jazz concert, and it was all hundreds of candles around the floor.
Yeah, you've probably seen it on Instagram.
I've seen it on Instagram because
he bought tickets.
He bought tickets. If you've seen an event on Instagram, he bought tickets. Bought them. So this weekend he bought tickets to a place in Denver. It's in Rhino. So it's super cool. What's funny is he buys the tickets and then he stresses about, oh gosh, it's downtown.
You knew that.
Yes.
You knew that.
He works downtown.
It's not like they said, we'll release the location later.
Yeah. Or this might be in Castle Rock. No, it's in Rhino, which there's no parking. It's hard to get down there on a weekend, whatever, according to him. So, and I said, why don't we just Uber? Let's drive somewhere halfway, park, Uber, drop you off at the door. He's like, I'm not going to leave my car somewhere. And so we drove there. We found a parking spot.
I never tell him when I'm taking trains or anything. Like on Saturday, I took the train. It was like 1 a.m. I'm on the train.
Which could be problematic.
Listen, I have all the necessary tools to take action. And I think the biggest tool is eye contact. That's someone crazy walks on the train. I'm like, you are on something. And you're like, hey, man.
Look right at him and go,
yeah, what's up?
That's right.
And he's like, what's up? And then he does some weird thing with a weird rock in his pocket and walks away.
So we go downtown to Rhino to a place called Nocturne. Okay. Nocturn.
Almost nocturnal.
Almost nocturnal. Nocturne. Okay. And what is the area called? I mean, besides Rhino, there's a little alley.
It's a Rhino 5 Points convergence.
Super cool. A little alleyway of little shops and restaurants. And Nocturne was on the corner of, I think, 28th or something.
Rhino is in the arts district.
Yeah. So there we go. And it was a jazz.
Cool stuff down there.
Jazz and food. So it's a restaurant. So you had 3 courses. And I'm really liking this whole course thing.
Yeah.
It's not where they just bring a big giant mound of food and you try to make your way through. It's like they bring out little bites and different flavors. And I had like this couscous.
People in Europe are like, yeah, that's called
dining.
And meal.
Yeah. Instead of
in America.
In America, where they bring you like a pile of food and fries on top with something on them. And this was great. It was some couscous ancient grain salad. You would have been proud.
I loved it.
With a lamb chop, which was, I always feel like it's so good and flavorful. I want to pick it up and just like gnaw on the bone.
Wow, and that's
so
good.
You. And then I had roast duck and vegetables.
Gosh.
And then these little chocolate something delicious with orange marmalade inside.
Who wouldn't be here for that?
And then the jazz group. And there was this jazz group that we loved.
Okay.
And it's just fun. Okay. First, you kind of look around the place. We were not the oldest ones, which was good. Because at first, the first couples that I saw, I was like, oh, this could be like just, they're all our age. Older. Oh, okay. They're all old.
And you guys are funny because when people are all your age, you get nervous.
We do, because we're like, this isn't where we belong.
Because you're atypical for your age. And so I feel like most people your age listen, the energy's lower.
Yeah.
The activity.
They're in comfortable shoes.
Yeah. And you're like,
that's already makes me nervous.
Yeah. It's a bad sign.
It's a bad sign.
Listen, you're not trying. So you gave up?
I always go, it's an HR conference going on right now. I can't.
Life is too short to wear comfortable clothing.
Wear stilettos, ladies. Dress up, men. Do not wear a baseball hat to a jazz club.
Yeah.
Which people were dressed up. Okay. So that made me happy. I just hate it when I go to a nice restaurant and I see the women are dressed in beautiful dresses. You could tell they were excited to get ready. And the men are in like a t-shirt.
She's already writing a narrative. She's writing a narrative where she's like, this lady, they've been married for 22 years and she's never been taken out. And she's finally excited to go to Applebee's.
She did her hair.
And she did her hair.
And he wore a baseball cap and a t-shirt that's
that
wrinkled.
Narrative probably is so much sweeter.
No, but you know what? That is very true. Men, step up your game.
I mean, listen, a sharp dressed man.
And I told Dad, he has done this to me. He has spoiled me.
He does. He is a sharp dresser and always has been.
Always has been. I mean, I think he breaks out in hives every day now when he goes to work because they all wear jeans and plaid shirts.
Yeah.
And he has to dress down or he looks weird there.
Yeah.
So he wears jeans to work, and I'm sure that still gives him a rash.
It probably still hurts his soul a little bit.
Anyway, we had an amazing time, and then walked around down there, down in that area, because it was still light when we got out at 8:30, and it was so nice. And so this coming week, we have tickets that he got on Instagram. He has tickets to, which he knows this is one of my favorites, the Moth Story Jam.
Yeah.
Look it up. There is a Moth Story Jam in every city, pretty much. Any big city has Moth Story Jam, and there are these fun events. And this one is in Boulder, so even further to drive.
But less
at the Chautauqua
parking debacles.
Yes, less debacles.
That man would rather drive farther and park easier.
Yeah. And so that's this weekend. And then the following weekend, we have another event that we're going to. He is the ticket buying machine. Yeah. So if you have an event, target Kirk Schreck on Instagram.
He'll buy it. And honestly, just put a picture of a chihuahua, even if it has nothing to do with the event.
If it has something to do with
nothing to do with the event, if there's a chihuahua on there and it says event in Denver, you don't have to be specific. I think he'd just buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it shows him with little boxing gloves on,
he'll buy 20.
Oh, he'll buy our whole
he'll
family.
Be like, hey, I bought it for everyone that I know.
Yeah, so that's what I'm excited about. Is there's lots of fun things, and we had a great weekend, fun times together.
I'm grateful for parents who dress up and show up and continue to do so.
Exactly.
You always have, and so when people are confused at why I think that wearing sweatpants and leggings is lazy, and why I think why I'm always like, well, what should we be doing? Like, yes, it's genetic. Yes, it's a little bit of my energy. I'm a border collie who needs a farm purpose. However, that's how I grew up. Yeah. You guys were always traveling, buying tickets and stuff, dressing up, showing up, and I appreciate it. So thank you.
You're welcome. De nada.
You know
what?
Gosh.
No, me gusta.
You like it.
I like me gusta. No, me gusta is my pleasure.
No, that's mucho gusto.
No. Well,
mucho gusto. Me gusta means I like.
Okay.
Mucho gusto
is my pleasure.
I thought meant only it was nice to meet you.
Me too.
And you said, no, it means my pleasure.
My pleasure.
So you taught me something new last week about Spanish.
Much pleasure.
Which I do dream in Spanish, and it's pretty fun.
That is cool.
Speaking of dreams, real quick topic, like a fun fact that it's kind of blowing my mind a little bit today. I set an alarm. I always have to I set like a really early alarm so I can get up, work out, shower, get my day ready, and then I have to go wake up Ophelia. And I want by the time I wake her up, I want to have to do nothing for myself.
Right.
Because I'm like, I don't have time for that.
Right.
And so I set my alarm for 5:45. I usually wake up. I'm never a multiple alarm person.
No.
When I'm up.
You've always been morning person.
When I'm up, I'm up. And I don't remember how, but I turned off my alarm.
Oh, interesting.
And and we have to be up by 7 because we've got 25 minutes to get out the door.
School. Yeah.
And I had a dream at 6:59 that we were in our bed and that Ophelia came in and was like, hey, it's time to wake up. And I was like, no, we have time. I said, you keep sleeping. You still have 40 minutes. In my dream, I said that. And then she was like, no, it's time right now. And I woke up and it was 7 o'clock. As I woke up, I looked at my phone and it changed. And I was
that's weird.
Well,
that is weird.
Let's go.
Brains
it was, that. And you and Dad have never set alarms. You just wake up on time.
I've always had children
that.
And dogs my whole life. So
me too, but my dog doesn't wake me up and neither does my child. So
I need new dogs.
I had a dream today that helped me out. You know what? I'm gonna ride that high.
Yeah,
feels good.
I'm
gonna ride that high. My favorite. Oh yeah.
Besides,
I'm excited about Iceland. Yeah. I'm excited about this phase in my life where I have more freedom
to be spontaneous.
Because I've always been like that.
Yeah.
But I've had external factors that have made it so the logic creeps in, which is usually where dreams die.
Which I've talked about this. Which
logic is important, and we need it.
Logic is important. We need. I need
a stern. I need a stern post in my life, like someone to be like, okay, I see that. I love
maybe
that.
you should wait 6 months to do that.
Yeah, like let's do that. But
Yeah.
let's figure out why, or let's talk about why maybe right now is not the best time, et cetera, et cetera. Or you know what? Yeah, let's go. So I'm just kind of like, you know what? Let's go. I'm doing it. So I found some tickets to Iceland. Going to Iceland. I leave Wednesday night.
And where are you going?
Well, I found, so it all stemmed from me finding a really cool hotel.
Okay.
I was looking up.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was looking up like sustainable building practices, as I do every so often. And
as do most of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Denver is on the precipice of an interesting construction era, because they are having to, in the next few years, there are going to be really strict regulations on what you can and can't build with, and the process of it, because the general contracting world and the construction world in general, so wasteful.
Yeah.
They come in, you have a building that has all these walls, you may end up at the end using 80% of the exact same structures, but first they just rip it all out and then rebuild it. And you're like, well, you could have just built 20%, and every
instead of 100. They rip out, all that drywall goes straight to the
dump. And so Denver's going to start to be really strict about, you can't just come in and demo. You have to have a demo plan, and it has to pass certain sustainable parameters. And I'm really excited about it. So,
which is going to make it even harder to get permits and do any building,
as it should be, because right now it's a little too quick. And I think that quick construction with slow infrastructure growth is hurting our city a little bit. And so I always look into it every now and then. Through that, I find a hotel in Iceland that was built in a really cool, like, they built it sustainably, they run it sustainably, they operate it sustainably. Same thing, but I'm thinking more like they run it like socially sustainably, but then also like HVAC, water, like all those things, like everything is very sustainable. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. And it's super affordable. And it's in like a really cool, it's just like they have cool things they're offering. So then I was like, I wonder what flights look like to this place. And that's basically the end of my trip. That's all I need. Yeah. I need something to get me there and somewhere to stay.
And then you're going on
I'll figure out the rest.
Tour?
I've looked at all these things. There's like the Golden Circle, that is like a famous route you can take and tour different like waterfalls and nature destinations. There's a beluga whale sanctuary on an island. But like anytime I can go somewhere far away and then take a ferry somewhere even farther, I'm like, I should do that
all day long.
There's a really cool natural history museum. There's like Reykjavik's downtown has a really cool, just like bakeries and shops and whatnot. So I'm really excited. I've always wanted to go. I'm a little grateful as a Enneagram 4 who wants everything to be unique that I missed the boom a little bit, because like 3-4 years ago,
everybody was going to Iceland.
Everyone went to Iceland. Now it's Portugal. Everyone's going to Portugal. Everyone's going, because it's cheap.
You're going. Already done. Been there, done that.
I was like mid boom with Portugal, but I get why people go. It's cheap.
Yeah. Here's a lesson. And I'm so grateful that I will never hear the words uttered from my lips, we're too old to do that.
No, you're not.
And we love traveling, going to unique places. I mean, we've been to so many amazing countries and places, and I feel like we're still going, okay, where's another place we haven't been? Mm-hmm. Where's another place we haven't been? And I love like all these really unique spots.
It's so fun. Cool. That's my goal. So I'm like, that's what I'm excited about. I leave in 2 days.
Who out there listening has been somewhere really cool and unique?
I feel like I'm missing like the Czech Republic or like Turkey or like those Turkey places. I feel like maybe are a little underrated.
Yeah, or Egypt. We haven't gone there.
I don't think as Americans we know enough about.
I think it's the Asian culture that I have not. I'd love to go to Tokyo,
which I'm shocked because you're married to a man who's like martial arts. He's Asian culture infatuation.
He's wanted to go to South Korea for a long time.
That'd be cool.
He had the opportunity to go with Master Chung years ago, but I can't remember what happened. I think
Master Chung was a real life Mr. Miyagi.
He's still alive too.
Sorry, I said
he's still there. He still is.
He's a real life Mr. Miyagi that I knew as a child.
Yeah.
Because I did taekwondo and karate with my dad, and I would walk into his Master Chung's basement, and he'd serve me tea.
Yeah.
And we'd just wax windows, wax on, wax off. It was this crazy thing.
Yeah, but Dad has been obsessed with that. But yet, we've never gone to an Asian country aside from India, which is South Asian, but we've never been to
even India. I feel like lately people have been like, oh yeah, it's in India. And I'm like, that's gigantic. What
that
part?
Is gigantic. Yeah. We've been to Southern India.
Well, I like this corner.
Yeah. So this is good.
Yeah.
So it's exciting things going on.
We gave you more chips than we anticipated. Yeah, I'll be honest.
There's a lot of chips. That's a lot of chips and salsa. So
Yeah.
I'd like to know from everyone else, what are you most excited about? I want to know. I want you to write in the comments what you're excited, like
We love.
anything exciting going on in your life. But I think I hear the trolley. I think I hear
Me
it.
too. I'll push it.
No,
I'll push it.
yeah.
I know. Well, I just saw Leah Ryan's out. Leah, you're always here.
Leah, what are you excited about?
Nothing. She said I just got notified of your live.
Oh, that's
so she's excited
that you're
about.
excited about that you caught us live.
Yeah, because we're on multiple platforms right now, so it's like
YouTube,
you never
LinkedIn,
know.
Facebook. If you're doing any podcasting, check out StreamYard, Riverside and StreamYard. But I love StreamYard. We've used it for how long? Like 8 years.
Did we just talk and miss the trolley again?
Oh,
let's
shoot.
Go. Next.
I'm chasing it.
Okay, here's where my process comes into place. I'm both the border collie and the border collie trainer.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Like
actually, no. I'm the border collie and you're the sheep.
Oh, yeah, that's
that actually makes sense.
That makes sense.
Okay, so I'm here to nip your heels and say we're going to talk about our topic. Yes. And it's something you have been learning about or like listening to.
Yes,
and kind of being inspired by.
It's something that I feel like I've experienced through you and some other people here who are in their 30s who feel like, what is my purpose?
You know, I'll say I haven't it's a question I gave up a long time ago.
Which is good.
Not because it sounds like that sounds so dark, but I've never been someone who's like, what is my purpose here? I'm just like, how do I make this count?
Yeah. And I think what I've realized is some people who struggle because they feel like I need to seek my purpose, they miss out on a big question. Lot. It's a big question. And it may not be that what you end up doing it ends up fulfilling a purpose because you start recognizing your potential in that pursuit. And I think when we seek happiness and we're thinking, if I can just find my purpose, I think I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Is the same as saying, as soon as I have a bigger house, I'm going to be happy.
Yeah. And sticking with the metaphor, I feel like we just shoved half a burrito in everyone's face. Like, is there a way we can back up a little bit? Where did this stem from for you?
I mean, it really stemmed from recent things going on here at the village.
Okay.
With people who,
because there's a lot of entrepreneurs in here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people starting businesses, running businesses, struggling with business. Like, oh, should I change what I'm doing?
Should I shut my business down? Am I doing
the right thing? I'm just not happy, blah, blah, blah.
And I do think AI has a lot to do with that. Causing people to question what they're doing. Like, is my business going to become obsolete because of AI in marketing, in branding?
You've seen that?
If they haven't,
no, I'm not saying you think AI. I'm saying you've seen people react.
People saying, like, I don't even know if my business is going to be a thing in the next few years because of AI, and they have not embraced it like they should have.
Yeah.
And so therefore they feel like I'm going to need to find something totally new.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to struggle with. I mean, I feel like I never woke up saying my purpose is to get into co-working or marketing or any of those things. So I think it's sometimes a purpose. And I said this earlier, I think it's like when people set goals at the first of the year, which is a good thing to do, but it also sometimes it limits you because you put these blinders on to other opportunities that may be out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you are open to exploring, which when you think of reaching your potential, what does that mean to you?
I don't think you can ever. I mean, I always
or like seeking your greatest potential. Or
okay, so drop that on me. That's a big one. That's like
there's a giant burrito.
I mean, reaching your potential in layman's terms. Okay, so just the most simplistic version of this definition is, to me, is just saying, okay, I'm going to explore what I'm capable of and go forward in that direction.
And when you reach there,
then you keep going.
You keep going.
Yeah,
your potential.
I don't know if you ever reached there. No.
Yeah. So I feel like.
So even the term "reach your potential" is a little.
It is interesting. It's misleading. But when you say you have so much potential that's untapped, all of us probably have more potential to do bigger things or to do things that we haven't even begun to dream about. And because we're either seeking our purpose or we're just in a job. And we don't expand that to say, maybe I don't have to change jobs to expand my potential.
Yeah.
I can stay in my job and make a good living. And
what are like Give me a tangible tip on expanding your potential.
Well, taking classes, learning a new language, going on a vacation.
And
to
so, but
somewhere
even
new.
to back that up further, you're saying like honestly, to me, backing it up to the most simplistic version is curiosity.
True.
Explore any curiosity. Doesn't have to be like, well, I'm in sales, so I should be doing masterclass on sales. Sure, maybe, sure. But like explore curiosity. So if you're on a sales call and you're like, I wonder how I could have de-escalated that better. Like you can start looking at radical candor videos on masterclass. You can start taking like, and then that leads you to reading a book that was talked about on the class. And then you just continue to follow that curiosity, which I think you do a really good job of.
I'm a total rabbit hole person. I'm exploring one thing and then I hear something that's like, oh, sparks an interest. Explore this, learn this, go here. So I think reaching our potential is being open to experiences, open to opportunities. And I think it's interesting because you had something happen recently that you were at a work event.
Oh, yeah.
And you met someone. How did you meet this woman?
In the bathroom, as you all good relationships do.
If you just were in the bathroom and you commented probably on her necklace.
Yes, I'm a personable person who's never afraid to approach anyone.
And I think a compliment always starts a good conversation.
Always. And not just like, oh, cute jeans.
No.
But you're like, wow, this outfit,
amazing.
Like, and it's just like, tell me more.
Yeah.
And that's all I said to her. I was like, holy cow, your outfit, tell me more. And turns out she had a lot more to say because it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I bought this at Nordstrom. It was like, so she's from Kenya and she, hey Koya. And she started a company called Let Me Show You Different. And the point of it is to raise like awareness, education, and bringing brands from African fashion designers into stores in the US. And so, but then also through that, it's like exploring the roots of African culture and then bringing that into the States through these African creator festivals.
Right.
And so it's a fashion show, but it's also like talks about the designers and how their approach is like where they're sourcing their materials and the inspiration behind it and the tie into their culture and their country. And then they obviously have like garments and pieces and then they do this show, but then there's like this full like multi-course dinner. No, you're a course gal.
And you know what? This is going to lead up to something later that I'm going to remind everyone. These multi-course great experiences.
And so I approach her in the bathroom and then, but the other thing is exploring a curiosity.
Yeah.
And then being open to what that may lead to. And so it's like, I compliment her outfit. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. It's from an African. How did you get that piece? Like, what do you do? And then she was like, oh, I put on these festivals every year. And I was like,
tell me more.
If you ever tell me more. I'm like, I'd love to take you lunch to learn more about that. We go to lunch last week and now I'm on the productions. I'm running production for it in September. And I'm so excited.
You go to lunch with somebody, which again, most people would end it with the compliment and hearing about where it came from. But then to take it.
But I was raised by Gina Shrek. You don't stop there.
No, let's meet for coffee. I want to learn more. Let's meet for lunch. I'd love to.
And not saying, oh, well, I actually don't do that.
Right.
Like, it's like, yeah, I can help you with that. Like, I want to explore that. So I feel like you've done a good job of never having us have a limited mindset where it's like, we've never been raised to be like, well, I don't think I could do that. Or that's actually not my realm.
I don't think anybody raises kids. Maybe it's just, I don't know where
it's a stay in your lane kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or like, it's not even like people are raising them going, hey, make sure when you go to school, you remember that you aren't good at everything. Like, it's not that they're not saying that, but they're not saying like people, I think people's natural tendency socially is to just be like, I'm just going to go where I'm like where I fit in, or like, here's my job. So like, I'm in sales. If I have an idea about a different department, that's not my place.
Yeah.
But you've taught me that every place is your place.
Well, you know what? For some reason, what just popped in my head?
What?
Brian Meek was your basketball coach.
Yes.
And the principal.
Bless him, by the way, because I was a tough basketball.
But I can remember him saying to me,
player,
you were overly enthusiastic,
which I always got as a child.
You did.
Like growing up, they called me a shouter outer.
Yeah.
I was overly enthusiastic.
Blurts out. Yeah. All those things were used with you, terms you used. But I remember when he looked at me and said, she's just overly enthusiastic and that could be a challenge. And I said, in 10 years, The overly enthusiastic is going to take over and it's going to really serve her well.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what a weird thing for a person, a teacher, somebody in education to say, you're overly enthusiastic.
I mean, that was his really nice way of saying that she's disrespectful and disruptive. Yeah, like because I only played basketball to keep me in shape for soccer. Okay. Like I wasn't there to be serious about basketball. Like I was like, listen, I'm wearing like knee-high rainbow toe socks. I'm here. I was the goon. I was literally there to go in and foul out their star player and then sit the bench for the rest of the time. Like that. So I was like, you and I both know, Brian, why I'm here. So I was just disruptive and I would use it as a comedic stage.
Yeah. It was. All right, Brian.
Where I practiced my stand-up. So then instead of being like, yeah, I mean, for sure.
As a parent,
it should bother you.
Yeah, it's like, what a really terrible thing to be down on. Like, channel that enthusiasm then.
Yeah, but that's it. I'm going to attempt to segue here.
Yeah.
Tie that back to purpose. I think what you're taught in American culture, because I can't speak for the rest of the world, but I think what you're taught in American culture is like your parents' generation was taught and then in turn taught, like, you pick a career, your purpose is to take care of your family.
Right.
Your purpose is to like raise kids. And so then everything just comes out of that blinder purpose. And so like, hey, I maybe want to go back to school. And you're like, well, that's not taking care of your kids, or that's not like providing for your family.
Just sit in the boat.
So that's like a boiled down version. But I just think like, as soon as you say like, this is how it should be, this is how people should act. Like in high school, this is how you're supposed to be. And this is that. And I'll
tell you, the older you get, the more that becomes the pressure on you you are now at this age. Mm-hmm. Really don't rock the boat. Don't try to do something different now. You're beyond that age. Mm-hmm. Or your career is so established. You're making a lot of money. Why would you consider doing something different?
Yeah.
But if you feel like your potential is to do more, why would you not? So I'm always looking at there, like you said, there is no cap to your potential. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you reach a level in a position, you're like, now I'm the CEO of a company. I've reached my maximum potential.
Yeah, I think contentment is very dangerous.
It's so dangerous. And I just think it ages you. It starts eating away at your soul.
Yeah,
you just feel like I'm done living. And because I am at that age where I see everyone around me talking about retiring, I'm like, what would you do? Like, whenever somebody tells me they're retiring, I go, what will you do? Like, does that mean you have no more potential for growth or doing things? And then when they go, oh no, I'll do all kinds of things. I go, what will you do? Because I hear people retire and they say, oh, I garden and I
slam.
And I'm just saying, if this is you,
yeah,
and
you're right.
I needle point,
but I think you can be retired and still, if you just retire with curiosity, okay, retire and continue to have curiosity.
Go volunteer somewhere, go teach somewhere, because there's still more potential. Which
you retire from your job, but not from your
life.
There you go.
Summed it up.
See you later.
The lesson I feel like is when you are trying to, which I found an interesting study that was done. I think it was out of Harvard, where they said they were looking at the measure of happiness and tying that to your education.
Isn't there a happiness class at Harvard?
It's the most popular class at Harvard. The most popular class is one on happiness, and there's books on happiness, and there's all kinds of studies on happiness. And they said your IQ, your intelligence is 25% of your overall success. 25% contributes to your overall success,
which is anti-school. Yeah. Anti-culture. It's like, be smarter, learn more. Yeah.
Right. And they said 75% of a person's success is being optimistic.
How are they classifying success, defining success though?
Yeah. Interesting.
How much money you make?
Well, it's like people strive to be successful, but are you ever there?
Yeah. But whenever they're like, to be successful, I'm like, hold on. What does that mean? How are you defining that?
Yeah.
Like your position, your title, your income,
happiness,
So
because they said, but most of it is just being optimistic. I mean, we all hear the glass half empty, glass half full. I always think, okay, are you a problem solver that you can go find a pitcher, reach out to your neighbors and find a pitcher of water and just keep it nearby? Who cares where your glass is? are you capable of finding a water source
Yeah.
somewhere? And I think the whole optimism, that view of the potential is out there. My happiness quotient and my success quotient, however I want to define that, is greater when I can see potential everywhere
Yeah.
and not just in my intelligence. So I thought that
Yeah.
was an interesting piece of that when we talk about, you know,
Oh, wait, Kathy Riley.
Kathy, juicy conversation around happiness. I know. I just feel like we strive for happiness, and sometimes we think our work is going to provide that, which most of us who have been working know that that's not always true.
No.
And then we think, well, is it because I'm not fulfilling my purpose in my work? Or is it that I just have to stay? The potential for happiness is here.
Yeah.
Being curious about the people you work with, being curious about the community you live in and work in. I think all those things contribute. And I think having the ability to stay optimistic about our future, whether that's AI coming for our jobs, whether that's I have the potential to learn new things.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we view that?
But that's a very present mindset. Like, it's a present mentality. And I think typically culture is future minded. Like, one, I think big picture, humans are always they always have been, and it's struggle for them not to think legacy wise.
Right.
Which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but if that's all, like, I know people who are like, well, I just want to do something now so that it will leave a legacy. Like something now that I can leave. And I'm like, no, that's great. There's valor in that. I also think you're losing focus on right now. And like,
True.
you're trying to do something that you're like, well, I'll do this for the next 30 years. I'm sorry, but what if you die tomorrow?
Well,
Like, but it's just, you just have to be present and curious.
Yes.
I think that is always the, like, brings you back to reality versus trying to think like, okay, I'm working 50 years to retire. I'm working 40
Right.
years to leave this legacy.
I'm crossing the
My
days
purpose
off
will
my
be
calendar.
fulfilled then, but not now if I do these steps.
Right.
And I just think
When
happiness
I
comes
retire,
when
I'll be
you
happy.
take that pressure off. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, well, actually all I can do ever is right now and be curious about it. And so I think having an open-handed approach to what your curiosities are and like the way you've done it and the way we've done it is like, you just like, you say yes to things even if they sound crazy, and then you can say no later when it doesn't feel right. But you just open-handedly go from one thing to the next that naturally flows, which is why we went from a marketing company that needed an office to running an event and wellness space. That was like never what we thought we were going to do.
No. And and I was even saying, now my pursuits and my focus has been on commercial real estate. How do you buy commercial real estate with not putting $1 million of our own money down as a down payment? It is possible, people.
It is possible.
Everything is possible because there's a pitcher of water somewhere. And my goal was, my glass is empty when I'm trying to buy an $11 million building, but somebody's got a pitcher.
Yeah. But I think we sort of talked about it on the phone the other day, where it's like, you're doing things other people aren't willing to do.
Which is always the case.
Yeah.
Are you willing, and are you
because interested? You've been trying to, like, we had talked about buying the building 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like with the previous owner.
Yeah.
And so it's just these things where it's like, you have been told no like a dozen times. And I think after like 3 times, people would be like, okay, well, third time's like, fool me once sort of mentality. Like, I'm let it go. This isn't meant to be.
Yeah.
But the way you
Which
continue.
is interesting. How many people say, well, it's not meant to be? I go, well, it wasn't meant to be last year. Guess what?
Yeah.
It's going to happen this year.
The continual evolution. Like, all right, that was 3 Ginas ago. This new Gina has a new approach.
Yeah. Yes.
Alexandra.
Yes. Thank you. Because it is. It's like, we all need reminders of being that expansive mindset. Be a problem solver. Don't take no for answer. I mean, there's so many lessons in that. And I just think what's interesting, the difference between happiness and joy. We always say happiness it's a feeling. I'm sad today or I'm happy today. And those come and go.
It's
and
fleeting.
It's fleeting. But you can find joy in the pursuit of your potential. So if I continue to seek potential, there's no ending to that.
Yeah.
If I'm seeking to rise to a certain position or make a certain amount of money or whatever it is that we have these short-term happiness goals, it's very limited. Yeah. And so it's like, you reach that one, and then you're going to say, what is, to have joy in your life? It is looking at all aspects, but with that potential of,
yeah, I mean, and I think like more. like a alliterative way to say it too is just you don't have to find your purpose, just be purposeful.
Oh, there you go.
Like there isn't this purpose that's ever reaching, like always going towards this one thing. I just think like if you're every day you're intentional or purposeful in what you're doing that day. I think that's really it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just solved everything. I think everybody can just shut down their business and just
mic drop.
Like, wow. That was brilliant.
Yeah, it is interesting. If you're in this
I know it's easier said than done.
It is. And if you're but I feel like if you're in this stagnant place where you feel like there's an unrest about you, and I feel like for the last few years I've said this, especially I feel like women over 40 start feeling this sense of restlessness. Like, is this all there is? And
well, do you think it's like as their kids are graduating, like
when your identity shifts?
Yeah.
So
yeah, anytime you have an identity,
major like all of a sudden your kids are grown and you're like, all I've known is being mom, or which I've never felt that.
No, which is me neither.
I've never felt like, oh my gosh, my identity is so tied up in being a mom that as soon as my kids are gone, I don't know what to do with myself.
No, you were a businesswoman who happened to have 4 children.
I happen to have 4 children, and you know what? They all survived.
And you know what?
Success.
Once we were old enough to unlock the front door,
you're gone.
You're
gone. Fine. I'm taking over your rooms and I'm making them over.
We still lived there when we could unlock a door. I'm just saying.
Well, their beds were gone.
She's like, you can feed each other, right? Great. I got a call.
But I do feel like it's like when you feel stuck, when you feel like you're stuck in your job, and I do say when you're in your 40s, you're making enough money typically that you're like, I can't start over because I'm making too much.
But you can.
My bills, and you can. And there's creative ways. There's also big giant leaps, and there's ways that you can say, do I have to have this house? Do I have to drive this nice car? Can I downsize so that I can go travel? There are pitchers of water, people, all over.
It's like The Sixth Sense.
Yes, you can find it, which I never have seen that movie.
Wait, is it The Sixth Sense or where I've never seen it? But they have cups of water everywhere. No, I think that's something about aliens.
Okay. You lost me.
Okay, there's a movie where they leave cups of water everywhere.
What?
Oh, I've never seen it.
Because the aliens are thirsty?
Maybe. Okay, wait.
Or is it that the dinosaurs, when they walk, you can see the water?
That would be Jurassic Park, and that's helpful. I keep cups of water everywhere just in case a large object or creature.
If a T-Rex is coming, you're gonna know.
Yeah,
you're gonna see the water shaking. I don't know. If you guys know, what is the movie that has water for aliens? Or
it's called Signs. I knew it was about aliens.
It's about aliens?
Yeah, so
it's probably a scary movie.
It says the character Bo has the daughter has a tick where she never finishes a glass of water, resulting in many half-empty glasses scattered around the house. But it becomes relevant when the aliens are revealed to be vulnerable to water, and the abundance of water in the house proves useful in the final confrontation. Can you imagine pitching that? I'm sorry.
Somebody goes to the producers, I have a great movie idea.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, we love the aliens. We love this. So in the end, how do they win? And they're like, the fact that the parents never cleaned up the glasses of water and the daughter was never made to put them away.
And that saves the whole,
and it saves them. They're like, so they just throw the water
at them
on the aliens.
Which is kind of like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz.
In 6-ounce portions.
Which they had to get all the glasses together.
Okay. Wow. So I just knew that because I will leave glasses places, like I fill up a glass and then I put it on my nightstand, and then I fill up the glasses in the bathroom. Oh, it's always on the edge.
On the very edge of every surface.
For sure. But here's the thing. Can I tell you the last time? I can tell you the last time that my edge glass tipped over. Never.
You know why? Because there's somebody around that goes, let me move this to the center.
Well, now that it's just me and Ophelia at the house, the amount of edge, like I look over and it's like her plate is halfway off the counter and then my cup is halfway off.
Subconsciously, she has learned, I think we're supposed to keep our food on the edge of a table.
Because I'm like, Ophelia, never limit yourself. Always live on the edge. Yes. That's what I'm teaching her.
That's what
through my placement of my cups.
Edge. Yeah. So next time you see a glass on the edge, leave it there.
Yeah, leave it there.
Alien might be
push it in for me, but I've never dropped one.
Well, I think it's an interesting conversation. I want everybody to think about what is my potential and am I exploring not necessarily pushing the edge, but maybe
the pressure. I think saying
it doesn't have to be big.
It relieves the pressure to say I don't have to find this ultimate purpose that then I have to work really hard and change every factor of my life to work towards. I think you just be intentional and purposeful about your day.
And say yes to those Instagram tickets. You never know where that's going to lead. I mean, it is interesting.
You do know where it's going to lead, and it's going to be trouble parking.
Remember Dad got tickets to go see Alex Honnold?
Yeah.
Was it in Boulder?
Vail.
Oh, it was in Vail?
Mm-hmm. We did see him in Vail. There might have been another time we went to Boulder.
To see his movie free or
solo
climbing. I don't know. Alex Honnold.
Solo man on a rock.
He climbed.
When he free soloed Yosemite.
And so we went to go hear him speak, and because he saw tickets on Instagram.
Yeah. So, and he knew I loved him. Yeah. I loved rock climbing. Presently, I think it's amazing, and I don't do it as often as I like, but I loved it so much. And he bought tickets to it. And you know what?
He loves rock climbing as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 of you have done ice climbing and rock climbing, and he saw tickets and he got tickets.
That came up just because you're like, that was fun.
Well, because of that, he also got tickets to go see the guy, Krasowski.
I think I might just be thinking of Mike Wazowski, but it's something like that.
Hey, Wazowski, get your time card in. Sorry, I can't help it. But he got tickets to go see a guy who slept on the top of all 14,000 foot peaks here in Colorado. There's 55 14ers.
There's 55. That was 52. No, 55. Oh, 3 new ones and 1 less planet. My goodness. I can't keep up.
He didn't go to Pluto, but he went to all 55 14ers, slept on the top. They do consider Mount, I think Democrat, Bros, and Lincoln. There are 3 that, unless you go down and go back up, there are 3 in a row.
Yeah.
But they are all 14,000 foot peaks. Anyway, because he went to go hear him speak, he ends up chatting with him after, going up and talking to him, being curious, asks him about when his next trip to Everest. And he, it's like those can lead to opportunities that you would not have if you don't explore those tickets on Instagram.
Wow, what a tie back.
Tying right back to the Chihuahuas fighting with the chickens. So, I mean, it comes full circle, people. Instagram tickets, which then, expands your potential.
It does. And I think this is a lovely place to wrap it up.
Okay, well, let's wrap it up and just end with a couple.
No, I don't. Are you sure?
Yeah, we have time for
super
that. Quick.
Okay. Super quick. This is the dessert. These are the churros.
Here's the churros coming your way. Dessert. Grandma Davis is out there. Shout out to you.
These are the moments where you're like, my grandma watches.
My grandma watches us on Facebook. A couple things newsworthy. We have. I am seeking. So this is kind of the want ad section. Seeking 2 part-time people for our community manager position and events position.
Starting when?
ASAP. Well, really next month, because we
summer.
have 2 interns that are going to start this week, and they're going to alternate days. And so we're looking for 2 part-time. We've decided this might be better for 2 part-time people that come in at 8 a.m. on like Tuesday through Saturday and split it between people who only want part-time hours. So that's going to be my ideal ask. Another ask I have is if you know anyone who is a musician, whether they play guitar, maybe saxophone.
Ready, set, go.
The purpose is here in the cafe on Thursdays and Fridays. I want to do live music.
Okay.
Yeah. If you know anybody that wants to come and play, make some good tips, make a little money, a little cash, and sell CDs. What do you still sell CDs?
You do not.
No. But
you could. No one could play them.
What do you sell? Do you sell Instagram or do you sell Spotify downloads?
I don't think you sell. You can.
Yeah.
This is me being out of the music industry, but there's things you can sell.
We're looking for live music here at the Village. I'm looking for 2 part-time people working starting probably July, August. And we have 2 interns.
I didn't know this was an ask portion.
Yeah, it was
anyone can build me a nice deck. That's where I'm at.
I know somebody for that, Damien.
I've already asked him. He wants me to draw it, and that's where it stopped. Damien. I was like, listen,
get a crayon on a piece of paper and draw some.
I sent him pictures.
Anyway, that's a fun. We're gonna have a fun summer here at the Village. We're gonna do some fun things in the cafe.
Is there the course dinner?
Yes, June 13th, which is a Friday in 2 weeks, like a little less than 2 weeks. We are doing a communal dinner. And the questions I'm getting is this a fundraiser? No. All the money, the tickets are $100, but it's a 6-course meal.
Cheap.
It's 6-course meal by
That's cheap.
professional chefs. This isn't
Why
us
is it so
calling in
cheap?
caterer. This
Crazy.
is 6 chefs are coming. Each chef is preparing a course.
Cool.
And you're going to be sitting at
Well,
communal.
what's the purpose behind it? Like, as in, what's the are they going to come out and talk? Like,
so no, and we're not bringing out
just the
no
sake of
motivational
community
speakers. We are going to have each chef will introduce their course. They'll talk about it, how it ties into community. And so, and then we are going to have 5 community champions. And those are people that we feel like are doing things big in the community. And they are going to introduce the courses with a question for you to ask at your table. And you will be sitting with people you don't know. You may randomly know one or two, but the purpose is bringing community movers and shakers and community people that are interested in building community together and meeting each other and having curious conversations and walking away and making new friends. And we've just had so much fun with these in other places, as well as this one we went to on Friday, Saturday.
Was it called Soul Dinner?
This one was Soulful, and Chef Darian has been doing these in Colorado Springs and bringing people together, community leaders together under soulful conversations. And they give you a purposeful question to talk about. Again, it's not networking. It's not fundraising. You're just buying
just
a
basic
ticket for dinner.
Organic human connection.
Great.
We don't get enough of that.
Yeah. June 13th. You'll see on my Facebook page, I have, we've been doing video promos for this and everything. Cool. And it's on Eventbrite.
So tickets are on sale on Eventbrite, but you can find the link where else?
On our Facebook page.
Facebook Village.
Instagram, Village events page, all those places. You can
text her, call her, beep her, page her.
Just like Kim Possible.
Yep.
Get your tickets because they will stop selling tickets, I think June 11th or 10th, because obviously the chefs then have to
have some food. Yeah.
Yeah. So get your tickets for that. But that's it.
Fun. Yeah. I know.
This is a good conversation.
Great conversation. It was purposeful.
Fabulous. It was purposeful.
Wow, it was curious and purposeful.
I'm curious if you can
wrap it up.
Summon the trolley again.
I surely can.
Summon the trolley, and everyone go out there and expand your horizons this week.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's lovely chatting. Honestly,
lovely chatting.
Thanks for helping me bring a little order.
This was a little more orderly. Bye, everyone.